The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. Brought to you by Nadex. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Tom and Tommy O'Brien.
Hi everyone, Basil Chapman sitting for Tom and Tommy O'Brien in this Bull Bear Binary Options Hour brought to you by Nadex. We're looking at a Dow spectacular move up 164 points at 26,376. What's really interesting about this, let me show you. If you're looking at my charts here, on the left, I always have the daily, in the middle, the weekly, on the right, the monthly. For years and years and years, I've always liked to do this on my show. One of the reasons is it gives you a picture. Sometimes you're looking at a chart and say, that is really bearish. But when you look at another time frame, a longer time frame, you get a different picture. And then you can look at an even longer time frame and get another picture. What's really important about this is that within the context of using a technical tool, this is the 9-period exponential moving average. Every time it looked as if the Dow was going to pull back and try to test that, it just ran higher. And this is really very positive. But on a shorter term basis, especially with this little doji candle from yesterday and a gap up today, this is now saying getting somewhat stretched just on a purely technical basis. And one of the reasons is look at the distance between the 9 EMA and the high that we've got today. If you use any vertical line, you'll see we're getting to an area that says, doesn't say you have to crash and just smash to the downside. It just says, now you should start bumping into resistance somewhere in this area, the 26,000, say 390s, maybe 26,420s. What's really important is that the weekly chart is still very strong. So is the monthly chart. Now, one of the things I'm going to be looking at right now is within the context of the markets, I want to get an expert's opinion on what they're looking at in terms of the options, in terms of the strategy that should be deployed at this particular time. So who best to go to? None other than Kevin Hinks from TD Ameritrade. Kevin, how are you?
Good morning, Basil. Good to talk to you.
Good to speak with you. So what are you looking at right now? What is most pertinent in terms of your background, what you'd be doing right at this particular time?
Well, this is an interesting time of the year because we're in earnings season. So even though you have indices moving, you've got a lot of individual names trading here and with microeconomic stories on individual names. So case in point, what we're looking at this morning is the airline sector. And everything that happened with United Airlines last night, that was a huge story there. They came out with better than expected earnings, slight beat on revenue. Stock was started to trade up a little bit. The conference call starts, and they talk about what? They talk about capacity, adding 4 to 6% of capacity. And in the airline business, capacity equals spending. And it equals expenses. And then what does added capacity mean down the line? Fare wars, right? So that took down the entire sector post-market on what they were looking at because of just that. You know, you can say the best things about it, but stocks are forward-looking, and adding 4 to 6% capacity means higher expenses and possible fare wars.
So this is very interesting, Kevin, because about 2.5, 3 years ago, what I was discussing here is that the airline industry for the first time is not going bankrupt every other month. What they're looking at is they are a la carte. They are separating all the expenses and adding many, many more. And watch out, because we're going to see that everything from automobiles to your state government doing exactly the same thing. So have they now gone to the trough too many times, and now they're paying the penalty? What do you think?
Well, think about this. When's the last time you were on a half-full flight? I can't remember.
That's very seldom.
The last time, right? So what United is finding themselves is they're behind in terms of adding capacity and where can they grow earnings. So even though this is a short-term pretty negative move, in these stocks in general. And, you know, United's down 10%. All the others down between 3 and 5% if you go across the board. Hopefully what this does for them is loosen them up or clear the decks for them to grow more in 2019. Although short term, and remember what I think United actually did it right, because the stock was virtually at its all-time high when they came out with this news. So even though it's down 10% today, it's still trading $70, right?
Not only that, I remember seeing it on the screen up about 2.5 points, and then all of a sudden took a dive.
And then it wasn't, right? Because we talk about it all the time on Swim Lessons. You've got to wait for the three-headed monster. That is the earnings call, right? It's
That's
the earnings
right.
per share, it's revenue, and then it is that forward-looking guidance in the conference call, and that's what tripped up American Airlines and the entire sector, frankly.
So now the IYT, which is the iShares Transportation Average ETF, is down some. It's still close to all-time highs. What do you think will happen? Because, of course, there you've got truckers, you've got other forms of transportation.
Yeah, I mean, that is down about just under 1% here, about 0.8%. So it's not as volatile because just what you said. It's got other transportation names in that ETF. So that's not going to trade as volatile, but I mean, it's still down almost 1%, about almost 0.9% here, because, you know, one thing about ETFs, you get groups, right? I mean, this trades the entire transportation sector. So you'll have several different things in there. So you're getting a little bit of a muted response from that transportation ETF.
Is this a possible harbinger with the semiconductor index to say, hey, maybe the market itself is getting a little bit overextended?
Well, you can make a case, Basil, from a technical or fundamental perspective that the market's getting a little overstretched here. I mean, think about what my biggest fear for this market are two things. Higher interest rates. Right. Sharply higher interest rates and expectations. The expectations going into earnings this year were for 10.5% rise in earnings for the fourth quarter. And those are some lofty expectations. And you're starting to see a couple firms not hit those expectations or change. Now tax reform is still going to keep a bid below this market, if you ask me, because everyone that's coming out, even GE, came out and said they're going to be helped by tax reform. So even the firms with not great news are still talking about tax reform, and that is kind of the underlying theme when all these earning reports come out.
So it's going to be very interesting. I must say, always fascinating times, and you always come up with some fabulous insights. I really appreciate that. So your show, just tell everybody, your show is at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Right. Comes up straight after this Options Hour.
Yes, we're going to talk about today. We come on at 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Chicago time. Today we're going to talk about trading misconceptions. Mistakes that you can make, how to avoid trading errors and mistakes in terms of volatility, in terms of dividends and earnings, all the ways, things to avoid, mistakes to avoid when trading options.
Fabulous, and you are terrific at that. Hey, Kevin, thank you so much. Have a great day, and we look forward to your show.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on.
Thank you. We'll be right back, folks. Dow's up 186.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. We take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Hi, folks. We're back. Basil Chapman sitting in for Tom and Tommy O'Brien, as is the Nadex options hour. So what we're looking at is the binary hour, I should say. We're looking at the Dow up 156 at 26,367. You're looking at the S&P SPX right now up. Was that 11? Yep, 11.37 at 2850, all-time high. QQQ all-time high right now at 169.98. The IWM has in fact extended its gain. It's at 160.32, up 36. 0.36 that is, and then we wanted to go to gold. And while I'm doing this, we're going to turn over and go straight to Tom in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Plymouth is about 30 miles away from me, maybe 28 miles. Hi, Tom. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Basil. How are you today? I'm
very well, thank you. So
good. I'm in the USLV. I was buying some Monday and Tuesday. I've been in and out of it the last week or so, but and I usually don't hold it too long. But I think this might be a little different scenario here. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on this.
Okay, so I had a question in the den. Didn't they have witch trials in Plymouth? No. Plymouth is where they have that big rock. The trials were in Salem on the north side. He's on the south side. He's okay. He's safe. So what I'm looking at here is that, first let me say gold is up 18 at 13.54. What's very interesting is silver. So gold is up 1.34%. Where did I just type that? Oh, I typed into the den by mistake. SI, continuous contract of silver, is up 3.06. That's a funny thing about silver. It can lag, and then it can play catch-up. Sometimes when it plays catch-up, it plays more than catch-up. It adds to what it was doing, what it was missing before, and that's what it's done. Yes, at 17.42. It's up 0.51. Now, this is going to be very interesting. So you have SLV. Now, what we've been discussing for a little while, when I say we, I've heard Tom discuss this, and I've mentioned it quite a few times, is that silver has really been lagging gold's action for a while. Not that it hasn't been good, it just hasn't been as strong in terms of the chart formations. The move today is a move that hasn't taken out the high of the 16th, which is at 17.45. I'm talking about the continuous contract, but the high so far today is 17.44. Wait a minute. How can that be? 17.44 is the high. I was looking at 17.45. Yes. So it's fractions away from breaking out, and that will increase the weekly, and to make leg B extend. That'll be very positive. My one concern in terms of the relationship has been that the monthly chart of gold is not anywhere near as strong as gold. However, when silver plays catch up, that's very important. That's number one. Number two is when the gold stocks are really moving in concert, but then starting to act even better than gold itself, and many of the gold stocks are actually now doing that. They weren't doing that the other day. I like that. So you're in the basically the SLV multiplied. There's a factor involved. My SLV chart says there was a spike today. The different chart to the silver chart, it went sharply above the previous high of the 12th of January of 16.31. It's at 16.40. It hit 16.44. You're in the USLV, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now, what do you have enough to whittle away? How do you normally trade it? Do you hold it with a particular goal in mind, or do you say, oh, this is the gain that I've got, I want to lock a certain amount in, a percentage in? How do you usually trade this?
Basil, usually the triples in this USLV I don't hold for more than a few hours. So I'm pretty short term, but I really think that, and I have quite a bit of it, to tell you the truth. So I could certainly get rid of some, take some profits, and leave half of it or a third of it, 2/3 of it on the table still, and let that run.
So because, let me just show you something. EUR-USD, that's the euro-dollar currency pair. It's having a very strong move, A, B, C, D. It's in leg E in the 120-minute chart. It's in only a C, a new wave count in the daily chart. And that almost has like a one-to-one look to it, an A to B equals C to D. If I use my notation, Chapman wave notation, this is in leg C, and the weekly chart is only in a leg B. So that means that the euro should go further. If I do the relationship of the dollar took out the intraday so far. It's taken out the monthly 200-period exponential moving average support. That was a target of mine, 89.09. It's trading now at 89.34. Oh, is that right? Let me just double check. 89, yeah, 80. So 90.07, and now it's at 89.34. So this is really very, very poor action in the gold, in the dollar. So here's what I'm going to recommend. This is just, I think that you must stick with your formula. It seems to work really well. But what I am going to say is that the USLV trading right now at 12.40, up 71%. I would do this. I'd have one part of my position. I would actually say, you know what, I'm going to take a little bit off right now, because that's a spectacular gain for a couple of days. That's just purely bookkeeping, purely money management. But or you could say, you know what, if it takes out the low of the day, which is 12.34, if it goes to 12.33, that's when I will take something off. I personally would do it right now, because you got such a good price. If you're going to take anything off, just take off something right now, and I would try to keep the 2/3 with 1/3 as a core, because I think you're right. I think this is going higher. I'd love to be keeping 2/3, but I'm just talking money management here. And just based on the 120-minute chart, I would say just right. The previous high that was at 4 o'clock on the 18th of December. 18th of December. No, can't be. Oh, it's the 12th of January. Sorry, that was at 12:25. So 12:25 to 12:18, somewhere in that area. I would say maybe that's my other 1/3. Why? Because a spectacular gap up like this, if it doesn't start to take out the low of the first hour, but instead stays within the upper or close to a half of the entire move of the candle, that often portends another burst of energy is possible to go towards the high of the day. That's why I don't think I would say to you, be too aggressive at taking your profits, but definitely the way you seem to work this, I'm saying to you, take something off right now just because it was such a big gain, and then manage the, I would, if it's possible, try to keep at least 2/3 of your position, even though this is the 3 times long silver USLV trading at 12.40. But boy, I have to congratulate you, Tom. Fabulous move, good eye, good position. Hope that helps you a little bit.
Thank you, Basil. Appreciate it.
Thank you for calling. And then I'll go through the rest of where the extension would be if it kept going higher. Straight after this break. I'll be right back. Dow's up 147.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender. Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, everyone. We're back. This is the Bull Bear Binary Options Hour, and Basil Chapman sitting for Tom and Tommy O'Brien's. This is a very interesting chart that I've been looking at for quite a while, because the triple yield chart, which I show my subscribers to my opening call every weekend, the 30-year yield is really close to breaking out, which will start a leg C in the weekly chart, but a very extended move. It's actually, I don't want to get into that right now, I'll do it in my show. This is a peak A and then a B minus because it failed, then there's another A to B. So this is going to be an overlapping C. If this 30-year T-bond yield goes above, doesn't have to close, just has to go above 29.80, it will at least give me a sense that there should be in the weekly chart at least another peak to come. What's really important about this is that the 10-year TNX, the brown one, is in leg D in the weekly chart, breaking out. It has gone above the previous highs. Let's go all the way back to December, the week of the 16th of December 2016 at 25.12. It is trading right now at 26.58. The 5-year is only in leg C. It's got a lot more to go, and it's already at 24.38, 2.438. This is going to be very important at some point. I don't think you can start to ignore breakouts like this in yields when there are a lot of, even though this is still early, if you look historically, we've done this before, historically this is still nothing. We're still way at the lower end, and we have been here before. In fact, the 30-year has been even higher. It's been back in March of 2017. We saw the 30-year up at 3.201, 32.01. So yes, but what hasn't been the case is where you get the narrowing of the yields. You also get, that is the three time frames, and you get this speed of the acceleration with the chance, based on my interpretation of the weekly chart, that we've got quite a few more weeks of upside moves. So that makes a difference. But within that context, this chart right here, which is the iShares Global Timber and Forestry ETF, Wood, WOOD, is trading at an all-time high of 76.91, up 70 cents. And even the home builders trading up at 368.46, up 2.80, is at a new all-time high. So at this particular point, they're not listening. So I had a couple of questions, a couple of emails. Most of them pertain to what I was discussing with Kevin Hinks just a short while ago. What about the XAL? So United comes out, says, oops, got a capacity problem. Capacity, as Kevin was saying, is really important. That is their bailiwick. That's what they really work at to really have enough availability for all the people. He asked me the question, when last did I fly on even a half full plane? I would say that I don't think I've flown on anything less than maybe 3 or 4 empty seats. I know my daughter recently flew, and she said, hey, that was fantastic. I had a very lightly filled plane. I haven't seen that very often. My son also just came back from Las Vegas, a conference he went to, and he said, you know, these planes, they are full. So yeah, and this could be serious. So what we're looking at here is within the XAL, trading down 3.82 at 119.17, down 3.11%. This is going to be very important. Let me just move this out the way so that you can see the monthly chart, because this is a leg E in the monthly chart in the Chapman wave. D, from the fourth highest peak, D is where other things can happen. So I'm really watching this very closely. If there isn't a repairing of this, look at UAL right now, down, what is it down? It's down, I think, 10. Yep. No, it's down 8 points at 70.05, down 10%. Made a peak E in the Chapman wave and the daily. And this is going to be very important because the monthly chart is still technically quite positive above the 9-period exponential moving average. How does this play out over the coming weeks and months? That's going to be very interesting. Why? Because the IYT, which has the rails, the airlines, the truckers, is down 1.8, down 0.88% at over 2.79 within this rectangle formation, almost at an all-time high. How it's impacted is going to be important. If you look at something like a CSX, which is rails, trading down just 1 cent, almost at all-time highs. 60 was the all-time high. If you look at UNP, I believe it is, UNP, which is Union Pacific, just made a leg D in the daily, very strong, all-time high. How these are going to be impacted is very important. Let me just notate this correctly here. There's a D. So at D, you start to get a little bit cautious. So we're watching this very carefully. So all I can say is, within the context of sectors, the IYT has some parts of it that are still working beautifully. What is Y again? Y is Allegheny Core. I believe that's transportation. Isn't Allegheny trucking? Oh, so all-time high right now at 616.61, up 82 cents. So all I can say is we'll watch this in great detail. And if you look at it in terms of relationships, sector relationships, the SMHs, the Semiconductor Market Vectors ETF, trading down 72 cents at 107.80, having made their leg D, gap up and then a gap down today. You're going to be watching this closely. And one of the reasons is it's down 72 cents at 107.80 because of Texas Instruments. Texas Instruments is trading down 6 at 113.82. Here's the thing. LRCX, I believe it comes out with earnings after the bell today. I think they've come out with earnings, although they're down 2 at 213.06. What happens next is going to be very important in the semiconductor. If you start to see the transportation index and then the semiconductor index start to pull back, I'm saying pull back. Let me give you numbers, because the IYT, the transportation index, hasn't closed below the 9-period exponential moving average. This is amazing. Since it broke out, I think that was in November. Yep, since it broke above it, right there. On the 21st of November, most of the indices had that big spike to the upside. That's when the transportation index went to 171 and then went to 173.50 in the same day, broke out. Since then, it has touched a few times the 9-period moving average in the daily. That black line hasn't closed below it. So if the IYT starts to trade, for whatever reason, trade under 200, it's at 202.87, on a weekly basis, 3 times during any 1-week period, let's call it any 5-session period, I would suggest that the daily chart has gone to a sell mode. Then we'll have to watch the weekly chart because it's way down on 195 for the support. The semiconductor index has been on fire. Just an incredible straight up move since it broke out. That was, I think, late December, I think the 16th. I'm sorry, January the 2nd. Broke that 9-period moving average, just went straight up, and it went to yesterday's high of 108.56. That says to me that we've got to watch this closely, and I'll give you the numbers when we get back. Basil Chapman sitting for Tom and Tommy O'Brien. I'll be right back. Dow's up 167.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
But the USO, which is the United States Oil Fund, just had a huge spike. Here's the 5-minute chart. You can see, and you can see also there's a relationship in direction, not necessarily in price percentage. This is the 5-minute SPY, SPY is Spider, S&P Spider Fund ETF, the green, and the red is the USO. So big spike up. It helped the SPY push higher. SPY is at 284, and USO is trading at 1306. So I had a question, Dan. Dana wanted to know about the OIH. Basil, can you give your thoughts on OIH? OIH. Have long position OIH and SLB sitting with a small loss. Oh, in both. Interesting. Okay. So let me give you OIH. So OIH basically recycled. I have to call this G/C. I believe I'm going to call it, I'm going to still call it a G/C right now in the daily chart. This is leg B. Is that a new high? You always, in the Chapman wave methodology, every penny makes a difference. 29.24, 29.21. So this is B and this is leg C. So the crude oil at this particular point is acting quite nicely. The OIH, which is the Van Eck Market Vectors Oil Services. So sometimes they don't quite go in sync. They usually go in directional moves together, but not always in percentage moves. But in this case, the OIH trading at 29.09, down 0.23, held the 9-period exponential moving average support of 28.78 in the daily. Ran nicely higher. I'd like to just quickly do a 120-minute chart. So this is going to be A. That's B. See, there should be a D. In other words, it should go, OIH should go above, right there, 29.53. 29.54 starts leg D. But if it's tomorrow, it'll be D in the daily. If it's today, it just extends this move and is actually very positive. So here's my thinking. I'm not sure where you bought it, that you are in a small loss, but so you must have just bought it in the last couple of days. So if that's the case, then I suspect that I need to tell you that at 28.39, below 28.39, you got to be careful, because the last support will be this candle of the 19th with a low of 27.80. This so far is good action. So I'm going to make it real clear in terms of what I would do. I bought it. I'm down a little bit. It's still probably within your parameter of a stop. I would put a stop 1 penny below today's low, of 28.78 if this is a short-term trade. If this is more an intermediate term trade, because the weekly chart is still strong, monthly chart is improving a lot, I'm going to suggest to you, I would then have a wider stop. I'd probably say, I would allow it even to go to 28.23, somewhere in the middle of that candle that I was talking about of the 19th. So I'm just saying to you, depends on your time frame. If it's a short time frame, a penny below today's low, I'd make that maybe 3 pennies, somewhere around there. I'd be getting out. I can always come back in. But if you're looking out 2 weeks or so, the weekly chart suggests that it should make higher highs. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Let's look at Schlumberger, SLB. 78.68 down 51 cents. Oh, look, it's almost the same chart, isn't that it? Oh my, same letters even. So this is acting pretty nicely at 78.67. The 9-period moving average is at 77.39. I do look at this pattern, and this is a pattern that says sometimes you have to make a little bit of a right shoulder. This is the left shoulder, then the head and the right shoulder, a little bit of testing. I like the way it's acting right now. Let me go to 120-minute chart. I wish it was like a B. An A says it could also fail. Yeah, I'm just going to make it real simple. Because you got in a little late in the move, I don't know if maybe this is the second time, third time, whatever it is. Oh, short time frame. If you're in a short time frame, make it real simple. It's trading at 78.69, having a bit of a breather after a spectacular few days. I mean, let's face it, 4 days ago, it was trading at 74.25. Now it's 78.66, having hit 80.35. This is a consolidation. I wouldn't get too carried away. Give it a little bit of room. I would not make today's low, the price 78.07. I'd actually go to 77.39 is the 9-period moving average. I put at least a small stop on part of the position, 77.80. Hope that helps you. Short-term trade. Looking out. This is only leg C in the weekly. Technicals are really good. I think the 200-period moving average of 76.57 should hold. Any pullback somewhere around the 76s, and then it should go higher. My target, my eye says that the 82 to 83 area could very well be a target for Schlumberger over the coming 6 weeks. Hope that helps you. Okay. Now, a couple of things I need to do. Could you take a look at SQ? I say, because it was one that was on my list, and it just, it's one of those, it moves so quickly that I said, no, I don't want to chase it. It's in leg D in the daily. SQ is Square Inc., point of sale software to managing receipts. 45.30, up 29 cents. So what is the exact question? It's hopping, sure is. Where do you see the SQ in the next few weeks? It reports this week. Oh, it reports the week of February the 20th. Thanks. Okay, Hector, this is what I'm looking at. The weekly chart is strong. The reason why it was on my buy list, and actually I had an opportunity, I looked at it on this very ugly candle of the 16th, and then an inside bar, but it was under the 9-period moving average, or just a bit hair above. I thought, no, I don't know. And the next day wasn't very good, and then the darn thing gaps up. The reason why I like it is an IPO, and it's in the playing space. That's I like to pick for subscribers to pick up an IPO that's in play. That's all. I don't know. I don't care. I just want it in play. In fact, we had one today that is in play, but I decided to hold off a day before going for it because we have a lot of positions and a lot of positions that have done extremely well. Even today, some are doing absolutely fabulously. So I didn't want to get carried away. I don't like to have too many positions. Here's my take. This is a leg D with a doji candle. MACD and stochastic are very good. Weekly chart is improving. It's not great. It did once upon a time make a high of an all-time high of 49.56 back in November 2017. It's making a U-shaped pattern. So I'm going to say to you, you didn't say whether you have a position or not. If you have a position, I'm just going to say hold the position. Do expect that if there's any pullback, market pullback or price pullback in this particular issue, 42 to 41 is really good support. That's 10% down. I'm just talking if you have a longer position. If it's a short-term position, I'm going to wait. I know it can rally in this U-shaped pattern very quickly to the high of 49s, but I'm just going to wait because it's on my list as a stock that is a potential for a trade. And I'm just going to say over a period of weeks, I think you've got to watch the whole, it's at 45.19, up 18 cents. You have to watch the 42 to 41s as key support. My thinking is if it pulls back to 43.50 and then starts to rally, that's when we can have another big move to the upside. If it doesn't break under 43.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Achievers rise above the rest, and when they see an opportunity, they take action. Massive action. Achievers capitalize on every resource in order to experience success at its absolute max. And on Wednesday, January 31st, from 5 to 6 p.m., I'll share with subscribers of Mastering Probability how to achieve even more success with the extraordinary tools that I use to call the markets. These tools predicted the Ebola 2015 stock market bottom, the December 2017 gold bottom, and why subscribers added to their mining positions this month as well. Learn the pattern that projects the Dow's next upside target of 30,740. Folks, great moments were born from great opportunity. So don't miss this opportunity to take advantage of my 30-day money-back guarantee for Mastering Probability. All the details are on the homepage of TFNN.com. Sign up today and reserve your spot for the ultimate subscriber event.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Learn how to trade options with swim lessons. Brought to you by TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim. Next on TFNN.
Hi everyone, I got a very interesting note about the costs of seats and fuel, etc. on airlines. I'll talk about that in my show coming up at noon. Straight after this show is going to be swim lessons by Thinkorswim. I interviewed Kevin Hinks. This is a really interesting show that he's got coming up. And so let's just go through this quickly. So Square, I believe it has higher prices to come. Normally this thin wick, trading halfway into the wick, for, in this case, a monthly basis. So it would have to be for 1 week. If it closes anywhere above 43.51, it suggests that over a period of 2 bars, that'll be 2 months in this case, there should be a test of the all-time highs. So I'm just saying, I think price is going to go higher, but I'll be watching the 42 to 41 as key support level that needs to hold. Hope that helps. A couple of questions. Yeah, TLT, I'll talk about that in my show. What I wanted to just mention in my opening call, my daily, very comprehensive newsletter that goes out to subscribers every day of the week, I've got us in, we are in gold, doing very nicely. We are in infrastructure, doing really well. One particular stock today is just up 12%, just today. So we're in all over the show, and the reason I'm trying to have a diversified portfolio is because it's really important in this particular market to be looking ahead. That's number one, and also to be a little bit under the radar. The bank stocks are still doing very well. Our bank stock is up very nicely. So the way that I think you can have a little bit more ease of mind is to have a portfolio that isn't really focused totally on the names that are mentioned every day in the news, kind of under the radar, stocks that are building a nice base. That's the way I'm looking at it. So far, it's working very well. So with that said, I believe we're wrapping up right now. So this is Basil Chapman sitting in for Tom and Tommy O'Brien. This is, of course, the Nadex binary hour. We just wrapped up. Stay tuned. You've got Kevin Hinks coming up and Think or Swim. And then my show, the Tiger Editions Hour at noon. Then, of course, Steve Rhodes, who has a workshop coming up. Check the front page of TFNN. Dave White and Tom White. I'll be back in.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.